ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Hey, everybody, my name is Robert, and welcome to the Roundtable Talks, our special bonus Tuesday. You know, I've been seeing a lot of theater, and some is good and some is bad, and some is sadly ugly. But we're not talking about any of the ugly or the bad today because New York City, let me tell you what's going on off Broadway. If you want to see the most funny, edgy, raw, exciting theater that's available, no shade to the big Broadway, but off Broadway is where it's at. Greenwich Village, downtown, you know, these venues have such creative artists, and this is where stars are literally born. Broadway used to make stars. Now stars go to Broadway. You want to see the up and coming stars? Off Broadway is where it's at. Really had so much fun with these shows. Really had so much fun with these guests. Way back in the day, I got an email and was invited to a press junket for a show called Titanic. And I was like, that's funny. I'm born in 1983. I remember when the movie came out in 1996. I was 13, went with my father and my brother, Christmas break. And Celine is Celine. She's a legend. So I go see it, the press junket, and Marla Mindell gets up and does her Celine impersonation, and I lost it, not knowing that I was standing next to Ty Blue, who's the director. Ended up interviewing that entire original cast, and we did a whole special on them, went and saw the show, brought a whole group of friends, and they're wonderful. They're amazing. Well, this little show that literally was under a Christie's grocery store has now moved to the Dow Raw Theater, which is a legendary off-Broadway house, and we got a chance to talk to the new Victor Garber, the new captain of the ship, drag superstar, singing superstar, acting superstar, Rosè, live in person on the stage of Titanic. Take a peek at this. All right, everybody, listen. We've talked about this show. We have talked about this show a lot, but now there's a reason you have to come back. You have to come back because the one and only, the incredible Rosè is here.
Hi.
Rosè, congratulations.
Thank you.
When was the first time you saw this show?
I saw this show for the first time, actually, the week that it moved into this space.
Okay.
Yeah.
The show was underneath a Gristedes.
Right.
It was, and we saw it there, and I was blown away. What was your thoughts the first time you saw this?
I really wanted to be in it. That was the very first thing I thought was I would love to do this show.
I think everyone that comes here wants to do the show. It looks like such a joy. And as a famous queen, you can sing your teeth out.
I can, and I would love to, because that would mean I could get some new ones. And it's about time for that.
How is it to sing the big Celine number? I don't want to give it away. Am I allowed to give away your big number?
Yeah.
Drives all night. You know the song, right? Drove all night to get you.
Uh-huh.
How is it to take on Celine's vocals and to be up here and doing it?
How is it to take on Celine's possibly gayest release of all time? It's pretty gay.
And I mean, Celine, talk about gay icon. Celine is quite the gay icon.
Yeah, I think as a culture, that's probably our anthem. You know, probably been remixed more times than anything else. But no, it's great. I love singing it. I actually get to sing it twice in the show, which is really fun. Different verses. I don't just repeat it. That would also be nice. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Well, this cast is pretty amazing as well.
Yes.
And Marla is a national treasure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as Celine and Constantine, and the way that they wrote this whole build-up is just something incredible. How's the audience's reaction to see you up here on stage as Rosè? This version.
You know, I think it surprises a lot of people because most people probably come thinking they're going to see what they've seen on Drag Race, or at the very least see some drag. And for a lot of this show, I really lean away from Rosè. So it's not new territory for me, but it's definitely a lot of new discoveries for the audience as far as my repertoire goes.
Well, reading up about you and knowing a little bit about you from the television show and from your career, your journey into drag is very interesting and unique. I think so. I mean, it's not something. Isn't it something that came out of the Fringe Festival and your own little road? How did it start?
Well, honestly, I was in New York 5.5 years ago, and I was auditioning, for shows like this, and I just wasn't really feeling it. I was booking some work, but I wasn't having a lot of fun, and I felt very typed into roles that I didn't really love playing, and so I decided to just make my own character, and that's when I just started doing drag, and it hit the ground running, and I was pretty successful off the bat, and I didn't know if I would ever return to theater, and I'm so happy that drag has brought me back here, and of all shows, this one. So
I mean, listen, I don't want to say it's a gay show. I don't want to say it's
you
a straight show.
we should absolutely advertise
it's
that.
It's a show for
it's
everyone.
A gay show.
But listen, if you're queer culture out there, why have you not been to the Dower Raw Theater to see the show? Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the gayest, grandest, funnest old time that you possibly can have probably right now in New York City.
I would say, yeah.
It's like the little show that has just gone and gets bigger and better, and it's got no end in sight.
Yeah, well, I think it's incredible in an age where the theater industry is struggling, and legendary shows are closing left and right. This show is like the little engine that could, it keeps getting bigger. People love it. When I tell people that I'm in it now, they say, "Oh, that show's the talk of the town."
It is.
And I say, "When do you live? 1920, the talk of the town." Like, did you text that to someone? But yeah, it's really cool.
Well, it's at the Darryl Roth. Get your tickets. It's TitanicMusical.com. TitanicMusical.com. There were no tickets for tonight. We had to literally beg, borrow, and steal to see you.
I know. Yeah, I know. I had some friends that wanted to come tonight, and they had to come another time. So
book, plan, make an outing. We took 10 people, and we had the best time. So I guarantee you, it's going to be the best night you could have in New York City. You're such a pleasure. Congratulations. Break all the legs on an amazing run.
Amazing. So great. So cool to be on that stage. So amazing to see where it started and to see where it goes. Speaking of things that are starting, literally things that are starting, Leo Reich is a superstar. I didn't hear of him, knew nothing about him. My friends sent me a video, cracked up laughing, and who knew that he's about to come to New York City for a month of shows. I sat with him during lunch today. And I had the best time. Listen, we pitch a lot of shows here. We talk about a lot of things. You need to go and get your tickets right now. This is something you're not going to want to miss. Oh boy. Watch what happened when we got together. All right, everybody, listen. We had to get Leo on the show because in a couple of months, he will be too famous to ever return any of our emails and calls because he's about to blow up. He's about to blow up here in New York City. He has a show called Literally Who Cares? And I ask that every single day about this show and my whole entire life. This is lunchtime in a 5th grade classroom in New Jersey. So what more appropriate person to bring on and be in an elementary school than Leo? Leo.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's age appropriate.
Welcome to 5th grade. I've heard your material. It's very 10-year-old appropriate.
100%. And I was only 10 very, very recently, so it feels right.
Good night. Bye. Get off. No, how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 24. I'm 24 years old, and I'm a growing boy. And that's all I'll say. Thank you.
You're as cute as a button. So, Leo, tell me what you exploded. You do Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is legendary, and all of a sudden, everyone cares. Your show is about being 24 in this world. Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm 39, so I don't get your generation sometimes. I'm like, what? Who? Where? Why? So tell us, what are we going to see when we see Literally Who Cares?
Oh my gosh, it's like I would say it's a loving parody of crazed early 20s narcissism and self-absorption and also fear and anxiety and depression. It's a funny show, but it's got all of those things sort of swirling around, and it's kind of me at my worst on the stage, sort of screaming every thought that comes into my head, doing a bunch of songs. It's fun and upbeat, but it's also kind of existential. It's got a lot going on, but it's a lot of fun.
It's music by friend to the show, Toby Marlowe, who's no slouch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know. At the Grammys yesterday.
At the Grammys yesterday. Robbed at the Grammys.
Can you believe it? Robbed at the Grammys by Stephen Sondheim.
Right. Who's that?
Who the fuck is that?
Exactly. No one will hear from him again. That joke's not appropriate. I'm already canceled with 10 minutes, 5 minutes with this one. So the show for everyone here, February 15th to March 11th, it's going to be at the Greenwich House Theater. You can get your tickets. You can go to your website. I love your artwork and your logo and your whole shebang of all that is Leo on the car.
Thank you.
I hope that's your Grindr photo too.
Oh my god! 100%. I only ever use Grindr for promoting ticket sales, of course.
Know your audience.
Yeah, that photo shoot was that's my mum in the back in the car, by the way. And that's my mum's car.
When did you think you were funny? Do you think you're funny? When did you know you're funny? Your timing, Leo, the timing, is it just natural? Did you study? Are you just
I'm a nerd. I was a comedy. I never thought I was never like the class clown or anything. I'm so jealous of most comedians in an interview will be like, I knew I was funny when I was 3 years old, and I like said my first word with perfect timing, and everyone fell about laughing. That's not my story. That's not the story I'm here to tell. I was a massive comedy nerd as a teenager. I was watching all this stuff, and I was just like absolutely desperate in the aisles on my hands and knees being like, how can I recreate this essentially, and I just wanted to get up there, so I sort of studied my way. It did not come naturally to me, but it kind of worked. So stay in school, kids.
Stay in school.
Yeah,
people, it does work because you're so natural. It's so fast. Watching clips of you're so fast. It's so funny. There's so many different styles of comedy that you implore as well. There's so many things that go on. Was it a conscious choice to make this like a one-man show theater setting versus a comedy club set kind of setting?
Yeah, I think that. Well, part of the show is kind of lovingly mocking the kind of the self-absorbed kind of origin story show that a lot of people do, that sort of autobiographical coming of age tale of a comedy show. So it's sort of like, lovingly taking the piss out of people who think their own life story is so beautiful and interesting. So I wanted to use that as a sort of framing device for the more kind of classically stand-up-y sets that are also incorporated. Yeah.
So how much of the Leo on the stage is the Leo in real life? Is it just
it's always difficult to answer because it is me. I wouldn't say like I'm doing a character or anything, but at the same time it's a much more sort of rabidly, like brazenly narcissistic, venal, shallow, callous version of me, and also I hope a version of me with a bit less self-awareness than I have day to day. But it's definitely, I think it really comes out of like what I fear that I am. Like in my sort of darker moments, I'm like, is this what everyone else is seeing? Like someone who is just like desperate for attention at every moment and really doesn't care about anyone else.
It's so funny. It's so funny because as a out queer teacher who does this and sings and acts, and my students ask me all questions about social media and the world, and we Googled you and all this stuff. It's such a different generation from where I grew up, and it's all about this instant. I talk to my godchildren. I want to be an influencer, and I'm like, well, what do you do that's original?
Yeah.
What are you going to? And I don't mean that in a rude way. It's just, and so it's this. There is this generational divide sometimes, and your take on it is so clever and funny. But at the end, I know we're going to leave and think, wow, this is, it's a thinking piece for sure.
I hope so. That's really nice of you to say. I hope that it's, I hope that there's like, it seems like it's hollow and vapid. And then at a certain point, hopefully, there is some kind of meaning takeaway to it. But also a lot of fun. It's not just a lecture.
No. Well, you do Edinburgh. You play these rounds. You get to television. You start to write for television, which I mean, should be. I mean, that's why you're not going to return our emails next couple months. And then this is the track. Leo, listen. This is just accept it. This is just your life now.
Okay.
Kevin McCullum calls you up and says, "I produce Rent, so come to New York City," and then the rest is history. Is that really how it happened?
It kind of, yeah. Well, he was in. Kevin and Lucas were in Edinburgh and came to the show, and then afterwards, it's like, wait, this doesn't really. Also, it doesn't. It's not like what you expect going to the Edinburgh Fringe. It's very like it's a fringe festival. Like it's people. I did my show there in a repurposed porter cabin, and like 3 or 4 times during the run, someone would walk in halfway through the show thinking it was a toilet. So it's not like a glamorous festival. But then I did a show, and afterwards, Kevin and Lucas from Alchemation come up to me. They're like, "Listen, kid, we think you could be huge on New York." And I'm like, are these 2 character comedians who have come up to like mock me after the show? It felt like so, I don't know, it felt so alien and Broadway and insane. But that is what happened. And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Like we said, go to the website, get your tickets, because it's going to be when it opens and the reviews come out and everything is, you're going to want to get them while you can. So I watched some of your videos. You have some. Can I just ask you some questions about some of the videos I saw?
Please.
Leo, do you really think there is a queer fairy tale out there?
I feel like with my track record, I am not the person for this question to be asked to. I think I guess doing that joke it's funny. It's like a call me by your name-y joke. Which I just thought it was funny on some level to reference that as a queer fairy tale, because it's such a sort of harrowing, depressing film. But it is a lot of the time when I'm talking to like other queer people, it's like, wow, if only I could be like sort of left despondent in a gorgeous villa, and like that's the pinnacle, is being depressed somewhere nice.
Yes.
That's the pinnacle of queer love.
Lush surroundings, peaches, and
and someone rejecting you and getting married to a woman. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you stare into a fire. Sure. I mean, sure. I don't know. I hope. I live in hope. I'm still a romantic. I live in hope.
And are you excited to be? I mean, you're from the UK, I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been to the United States.
I have, only as a tourist, never done shows there before, so I'm super excited. All of my favorite comedians are from New York. I'm like obsessed with the kind of alt New York cabaret comedy scene, and have been for ever since I got into comedy. So performing in New York's like always been a massive dream. So I'm really excited. I mean, it feels like a big swing. It feels like a bit of a hubristic move to just suddenly be like, they'll probably know. They'll probably come. I've never been before. They'll probably come. So please come.
I'm going to. I'm coming. We're dragging everybody that's watching right now. Needs to
please God. Yes.
No, people are going to come. You're going to spread like wildfire.
Let's go for a drink after, for the love of God.
Yeah,
wait for me at the stage door. Everyone listening, wait for me at the stage door.
And ask for selfies and he's going to say no, but ask for them.
I'll be the guy wearing a pair of sunglasses, stepping into a Mercedes, saying no pictures, please. But it will be so nice to meet you guys.
It's good. It's an ego boost. It's important. And then
that's why I'm doing the show. Obviously,
that's why we all do shows, Leo.
This is the one big a month-long New York ego boost.
It's perfect. That's why artists. Do you feel like an artist is a blessing and a curse? Like, you're a true artist. I understand. Do you sometimes wish like, man, my life would be so much easier if I just wanted to be a plumber and go home at night?
I think I maybe have thought that in moments in the past, and then I realized, oh no, wait, this is the easiest thing on earth you can do. Like as much as it's like you know, you put your emotions through the ringer, that kind of stuff. It's like a lot of hard work. At a certain point, I'm like waking up at midday on a Tuesday and thinking, oh boy, I have the nicest life since human history began. This is pretty much as easy as it could get, and it's still so hard. But yeah, I feel very, very lucky. I think I would be, I think I would be also a terrible plumber. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me and for water pipes everywhere that I am able to do this.
That's the new tag for your show.
Yeah.
A blessing for me and water pipes everywhere.
Get it on the poster. Get it on the poster.
Well, I understand that because I have a brother who's a prosecutor who all he ever wanted to do was that. And then I'm this crazy artist who at one point decided I needed a date. I chickened out at 19. and got a day job. And this morning, I'm like, man, why am I here? There must be more to life.
Is that what you tell your kids as well?
Yes, I tell them, please don't become a teacher. Please run away.
The love of God. I hate being here, you guys. Anyway, let's do some math. Oh.
Let me teach you this version of American history. That is.
Yeah. Oh God.
Cool. So listen, before I'm fired, and then I'll be your tour manager, and that's it.
Perfect. So that's why I came on. I wanted to get you fired, so you could. I'm really looking for a tour manager.
I was ready. I was expecting to be fired after talking to you. I watched your videos. I will be there. I'm very excited, and I think everyone should really be excited to be on the rise. If literally, who cares? It's coming to the Greenwich House Theater, and it starts soon. Next week.
Soon. Next week. It starts next week.
The 15th, the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What gift can you give for your queer fairy tale than tickets to go?
Give your gay, straight, or bi lover the best Valentine's gift you can give them by coming to my show, looking at me on the stage, and thinking, "Well, thank God we're not single like him. Thank God we've got it." You'll look at each other at the end of the show, and you'll go, "We've got each other," and that guy has no one, and that will make you feel so much better about your lives.
That's gonna change after a month in New York. Watch.
I goddamn hope so. What I mean that's the whole plan.
That's the point of the whole
plan. Yeah. Can you believe it? A month in Edinburgh, not so much as a kiss. Are you kidding?
That's because you were in the cabin. You were doing your act in the outhouse, and that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a crowd for that, but that may not have been. Well, I promise to be there. I'm very excited to see what happens, and I'm very excited to see
so much.
All that's to come. Everyone, if you want to follow, make sure you follow Leo on the social media below. You can follow and keep up to date on all the things that Leo's doing. And again, get your tickets. It starts next week, and it runs all the way until March 11th over in Greenwich. Leo, you're a pleasure. You're a genius.
Oh my gosh.
Thank
you so much. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you in New York.
I will see you in New York.
It's a pretty good show. There's a jam bam, thank you, ma'am. Little half-hour moment for you all here at the Roundtable. We're live every single Thursday. You can see our live shows every Thursday, and then every Tuesday we drop the Roundtable Talks, where we talk about artists, talking about art. And if you want to see all the up-and-coming and fun things that we have, just go to my website. You can find out more about me at robertbannon.com. And if you liked this, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel so you can be never missing a moment. I'll see you all again next time. Thank you all so much. Remember, the best is yet to come. See you then. Bye, everybody.